Welcome to the Elevating Leaders series, where we go beyond the headlines and straight to the people who are redefining insurtech and business transformation. We've caught up with the visionaries and the pioneers that are currently driving the industry forward, bringing you exclusive insights, strategies, and stories you won't hear anywhere else. If you're ready to go deeper, this is your front row seat to the future of insurance. I'm Miguel Edwards, and this is 5 Minutes.
We start thinking about what it takes to actually adopt AI organizationally. And we talked a little bit about the cultural shift for product. I got to imagine that that's even a deeper dynamic of a shift. So talk to me a little bit about what you guys are doing preparing for that cultural shift.
Yeah, that's a good one too. So part of it is like you just start with education, right? Yeah. And we have not banned ChatGPT, so you can still use ChatGPT from the Mutual of Omaha network or whatever. So that's fun. We've enabled Copilot for a decent number of users. I don't think everybody's got it, but a decent number of folks have it. So trying to get folks like familiar with using AI in their kind of day-to-day tasks, whether that's drafting an email or whatever it would be. That's probably one way of doing it, right? And that certainly helps, like, I don't know, de-scarify. That's not a word, but de-scarify AI. Make it easier for the folks to kind of like figure out, oh gosh, this isn't quite as bad as like we've seen in media, right? And once you get to play with it yourself, you kind of better understand the do's and don'ts of the platform. So that's one way that we've tried to figure out how to adopt AI. Second one is like, we've got both a governance committee, so that would be like overseeing some of the bigger things, like that surfacing policy details is one thing that they are overseeing, as well as like a center of excellence for folks that are like working on the various use cases that we've got, and we've got several of them that are in flight. Coding being one, so on. So like plenty of fun stuff going on, that's for sure.
I love that. So as a matter of fact, you're one of the first folks that I've talked to that actually have such a formalized structure in your organization. And I remember we went through this during the kind of the no-low code dynamic where you've got to have the right governance, right? You can't have people just kind of going off building their own stuff and doing what they want to do. So you've got oversight, as what I'm hearing. You've got oversight in elements of this that are trying to put some guardrails around how we're using it.
Boy, for some of us that are trying to build, we might say there's too much oversight, but there is certainly oversight. We may have like overcorrected that way, but again, our stance is probably that's a better outcome from a regulatory perspective, so you don't come back and get nailed down the line of, well, you were doing this thing and that's outside of the bounds of the regulatory piece. So I think we'll eventually like get some clear guardrails around that that'll make it easier and people will go faster.
Is AI the hottest thing for you guys right now from an innovation perspective, or is there something else that we're thinking about as well?
Oh man, that is an excellent question. It certainly has required a lot of attention. In part to get something like the governance committee stood up, in part to get some of the use cases in the center of excellence like connected so you can share some best practices along the way. It certainly has a lot of promise. My theory is, I guess, it's going to require some more context, which is where the hard work happens at the company. I gave you the policy one. Like, that's not one you can go ask ChatGPT, Copilot, whatever. Give us some policy details on a Mutual of Omaha sold policy. That just doesn't work that way. So you have to be able to build some, box effectively that can interact with the way that the stakeholder wants to interact, but also has the context of whatever it is that you're trying to solve. In this case, it's policy. So Mutual of Omaha needs a way to like feed the policies to it and then allow the AI to surface, understand, and interact. Boy, one of the real shift here is up until Gen AI, people have had to learn machine language. Machines have now learned people language.
Love that.
And that is like, again, has potential to be a real game changer.
I love that. That's a fascinating way to think of it. That's awesome. That's a great soundbite. I love
Steal it, it's yours.
Oh man, I love that one. Yeah, machines have learned people language, and so you think about how that democratizes so much for people who don't know machine language to now be able to be so much more powerful. That's fantastic. You talked about streaming policy information. I want to be careful how I ask this question because I don't want you to shoot yourself as the former CDO of the But what kind of limitations do we see?
This is policy contract information. This is not PII. This is not
No, I wasn't even going in that direction. I'm actually more concerned about what does the lack of a good data strategy? What does the lack of, just you think about all the encumbrances of using these technologies when your data house is not in order? What does that look like for you guys? Are you guys primed and ready to go because you did such a killer job as the CDO?
The best I could do was line up the strategy, and then we started executing.
Got it.
But we didn't get all the way through.
Okay.
So and frankly, anybody you talk to, I think, like that's been around for more than 20 or 30 years as a company, let alone an insurance company, just has the same problem with like, well, gosh, if we could start over today, we completely would have restructured how we're handling data and figure out different ways to put the pipeline in there and like build it in a way that is more modern.
Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.